Hey, what's up? It's your boy Tyrone. I didn't make one of these videos in a while. It's been like 2 or 3 years since the last time I posted, so, bear with me a little. I apologize for the bad lighting. The market opens at like 11 p.m. in Hawaii, so that's why it's so dark. And I'm also recording in my sister's room just because I'm pretty sure y'all saw my setup that I posted a couple days ago. And yeah, it's just not really the best place to record, so I just came to my sister's room. Anyways, going back to the topic of the video, I wanted to do a recap on two trades that I took today. I took a trade on HCTI and PITA, P-I-T-A, and I just wanted to show you guys some of my thought process going into the trade. So recently there were two runners in the market the last couple of weeks. There was Rito and UPC, and both of those were delist plays. They were both Chinese penny delist plays, right? So our ETO ran, I think, something like 400%. They ran from like 35 cents to all the way to almost $2. So that was a crazy delist play. I hate that I missed it. And there was also UPC, another Chinese delisting play. Those guys ran 100%. So they kind of ran in sympathy. And I was basically just trying to look for the next bankruptcy play or delisting runner just because I missed those two. I was just punching myself in the face once I saw those two running. So the first one I wanted to go over is HCTI. Why did I buy the trade? Why was I looking at HCTI? And how is it related to our ETO and UPC? I have HCTI pulled up on my phone here, and right now I'm looking at the daily chart. So this was the first thing that I looked at when I saw HCTI. These guys were a previous bankruptcy play that I played last year, and I think I alerted this one at like 35 cents during September when they announced that they were potentially going to file bankruptcy if they couldn't pay like a loan or something. So I alerted it way back here, around 35 cents, and then a couple weeks later they went to $1.90. This was like a supernova type of bankruptcy play. And ever since, I just had it left on my watch list, right? Because to me, they're still a bankruptcy play. They're super low float. So, you can see these moves here. It just goes from 50 cents to $1.90, from, 60 cents all the way back to $1.30. So this one has a lot of potential to move. And I just had this on my watch list for a long time till I saw another good buying opportunity on it. And that was yesterday, right? So looking at the daily chart, you can see that the previous all-time low was back here at 29 cents. And if you look at more recent time, these guys dropped all the way from $1.70 all the way down to 31 cents, which is basically, it's hitting near the demand zone of 29 cents from last year. So if we go down to a smaller time frame, intraday, let me zoom out here. So the chart looked like this right before I alerted it. And what I was looking at was for some volume as a sign for buyers that were stepping in near the demand zone area. Once I see the volume coming in down here in this bottom corner, I sent out an alert at 35.8. I think that was the entry I took for this. A couple minutes later, it ran up. I was expecting a swing on this, and I was just going to hold it for a couple days, but immediately into after hours, this thing started running, and you can see this started ripping. Let me go on the 1 minute chart. So I alerted this down here in the 35 cents range, and not even 1 hour later, this thing rips to 71, 72 cents. So this thing ran 100%. And by that point, I sold most of my shares in the mid 50s. I was alerting people to take some profits, right? Because you're already up like 50%. You got to secure some and just lock it in. So once I saw that volume coming in, basically a reversal confirmation here, I took some, overnighted it, and I didn't even really overnight it. It became a day trade just because it moved so quickly. But yeah, this was a beautiful bankruptcy play that, it fit in the theme of low float delists / bankruptcy plays like our ETO and UPC from a few days prior. So because HCTI was running, it ran 100% in an hour, it moved up so quickly and a lot of volume was coming in. A natural reaction for the markets is that, people will look for the next sympathy play, right? They already missed out on HCTI running 100%, so people want to look for the next one that has potential. So you want to look for plays with similar criteria. Once I was taking profits on HCTI, I was basically done with that trade. Let me switch over to PITA here. So PITA was the next one on my watch list. These guys announced that they were insolvent a couple weeks ago. So if I show you on the daily chart, you'll see that they had this massive drop over here, negative 44%. That was the day that they announced they were insolvent. So this was on my watch list for a couple weeks now. And as soon as HCTI was running, this was my first instinct as a potential sympathy play. When people see HCTI is running and once volume starts to slow down on it, people will naturally start to pour volume into the next bankruptcy play. So you can see this one here. This one was also trading at all-time lows. And they have a huge gap on the daily chart all the way up to 84 or 85 cents. So this one actually had a very similar chart to our ETO the other day. So if I go down on a smaller time frame, you can see that PITA had this huge run up the other day. I think it was only 2 days ago. They ran from 35 cents to 68. And they came all the way back down to the support level at 35 cents. If we go to our ETO and look at their chart history, you'll notice that it's very similar to what happened to PITA as well. This was a delist play. If I go on the daily chart again, you'll see this was the day they announced that they were getting delisted off the NASDAQ, but they plan to file an appeal. And these guys dropped from 83 cents all the way up here down to 35 cents. And these guys were a low float play as well. They were like 5 or 6 million float. And they were trading in this range from 35 to 40, for I think like 2 weeks. And if we go to a smaller time frame, you'll see that they had this massive pump from 32 cents to 75. But they dumped all the way back down to 36 near support. Honestly, I was thinking about loading this one up in the 36, 40 cent range, but I wasn't too sure. It was still a delist play, right? And it came back at support, but it's a Chinese play, so it's a little bit more sketchy. So I avoided it, but that was a big mistake. As you can see, they ran the next day from 40 cents all the way to 194, basically $2. So they almost ran 400% there. So I missed this play, but you can see the chart structure. It's very similar to what was happening with PITA. You can see right here, RETO had a pump and then it dumped. When I switched to PITA, you can also see here, they had a pump from 35 to 68 and then they dumped. Very similar to RETO. So they were trading in a range at the support level, and this was on my watch all day, but I didn't really see any volume coming in, so I didn't really take the swing yet because after all, they are insolvent, so they are at delisting risk from the NASDAQ at any moment. But once I saw the volume start coming in after HCTI was running, I took a look at PITA to see how the volume was looking on that one, and you can see here that people were slapping it in after hours, and right before market closed they were at 34 cents and it was already getting bought up at 42 cents, which is why I alerted it at 44. It was in this area right here when market was closed. I was holding it because at this point HCTI was slowing down, and you can see that PITA is consolidating here. It's forming a little flag, and I knew that over 50 break would be a huge breakout just because the structure was so similar to RETO. I was holding on for this one a little bit, and then you can see when HCTI started dying, all the volume started pouring into PITA, and they sent this thing to the sky, right? So they sent this from 34 all the way to 92. I think they went to 96. So this one went insane, almost 200%, but it was like 120% from my 44 cent entry. So this was also another beautiful play for the challenge account, but I did sell most of this in the mid 50s as well, just like HCTI, because at that point I'm already up 40-ish%. So I'm taking profits once I'm up that much. Of course, you leave runners, right? So you can ride the move up in case these bankruptcy plays go insane. You can never predict how much they're gonna run. Sometimes they go 200, 300, even 400% like RETO, right? But you can't really predict how high it'll go. So take profits while you are still green and just be patient. Look for high quality setups. I mainly focus on swing trading, but if some of these do move quickly in the same day, I'm gonna take profits and it'll become a day trade sometimes. I only trade like 2 or 3 times a week, so you don't have to trade every day to be profitable. I'm pretty sure I clearly showed that with the challenge account being up like 10,300% since I started it. And yeah, PITA and HCTI was just a really good boost to the challenge account. I think it's up around 20% on the day just from those 2 plays. Now I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for high quality setups. I don't want to trade quantity, right? I want to focus on what I think will have the highest probability of, giving me a good risk reward trade. And yeah, that's basically all I have for this video. If you want to catch my next alert and follow the challenge account, you could do that just by clicking the links below. follow my socials, and obviously join the Discord. That's where I post the plays for the challenge account. I give entries for each play, stop loss, price targets, and even the exact share size to size into each play in case you don't know how much to buy or sell. We provide everything in trend analytics, and if you're looking for a community to trade with and learn from the best, trend analytics is the place. So I just want to thank you for watching. Let me know if you guys want more of these trade recaps. I want to get back into YouTube, but I just haven't because it's kind of a lot of work to make these videos, edit it, make a thumbnail, all that. But if you guys want more, I will try to work on it. And yeah, subscribe. Peace.